Yeah. Welcome back to Heretic Wargaming. Today we're in Connor's house, and he is playing Admech, which we'll talk about his list here in a minute. And so it's Tyranids versus Admech. Lots of fun. I haven't played Admech in a while, and Connor hasn't played Tyranids in a while. So we'll start over on the left side. I did split up the army to make a little bit more sense. So we've got three, so this is all High Fleet Leviathan. So we've got a Malanthrope, we've got a Neurothrope right here. He's not my warlord, that's my warlord over there. Yeah, 2 units of, actually he can be my warlord. 2 units of 5 Zoanthropes, 2 units of 13 Termagaunts just because I had extra points. Unit of Ripper Swarms, 1 Lictor. And over here, we've got 9 warriors. 2 have the heavy Venom Cannon, or the normal Venom Cannons. 2 have devourers with the bone sword and a whip. And then all the rest have death spitters and scything talons. And then over here is a Hive Fleet Kronos, and this is a patrol detachment. So this is a normal old Hive Tyrant walking. He's got a heavy Venom Cannon. So he actually has the relic for the army. He's going to go ahead and take the, I think it's like paroxysm or something like that. Basically, he gets 1 free wound and hit reroll per turn. 1 Lictor. We've got the good old Exocrine. 6 Hive Guard. And 2 units of 3 Ripper Swarms. I haven't taken a Warlord trait, but I did spend 1 CP to take 2 Adaptive Physiologies. So the first one will be ignoring AP 1 and 2 on these warriors right here. And then the second one is obviously the invulnerable save on the Exocrine, because why not? And that's it. 2,000 points. So let's go see what Connor brought today. All right, Connor, what did you bring today?
Okay, so I have 1 battalion detachment, starting with the 3 characters. I have Belisarius Cawl, who is nothing, he's just the character. I have this Dominus, who is my warlord. He is the Auto Canduceus of Ark and Land, and he also has the learnings of the generator from the new Psychic Awakening book. Moving on, I have the new-ish Tech Priest. They also got its standalone Psychic Awakening. He has Divinations of the Magos. So those nice new ones that you can pick which aura you want at the start of each turn. Moving on, I have 3 troops choices, 2 units of Scutari, 10 man, 3 arc rifles in one, 3 snipers in the other. Then I have a 4-man destroyer squad. They all have grab actually, so I can probably switch that out, but it doesn't matter. They all have grab and phosphor guns. 2 elite choices, 10-man Electropriests and a 10-man Hoplite squad. They're going to be in the 2 new Dune something transports, whatever they're called. I have a 5-man of the new Batwing guys. These got really weird. And then the Prexii. These are the Sky Stalkers. They have the Flechette carbines, which are the really cool 5 shots apiece, 24 inches. Only strength 3, but they're putting out an absolute ton of DACA. Moving on, I have 6 of the new Serebus Raiders, the Ranger version with the carbine sniper rifles, and then 4 robots, 3 phosphor apiece, and the fighter version, the gunship version of the Archaeothopter with the phosphor guns, the stubbers, and the twin las cannon on the back. And that is 1 Martian battalion.
Oy, Mars. All right, let's go to deployment. All right, we have deployed, so I guess I'll cover our secondaries first. So on my side, I took engage on all fronts, direct assault. So that's the mission one where you have to hold the middle or hold the one that is in their deployment zone, and deploy scramblers. Whereas my buddy Connor here took Abhor the Witch, because why the hell not? Admech does not have psychers. Engage on all fronts and thin their ranks. It looks like twin. So in their ranks, because I have a bunch of bugs. So on the bug side, we've basically deployed in a giant blob, kind of utilizing the -1 hit from this guy right here to kind of maximize that as much as possible. Here in the back, the Exocrine is hiding behind these things because, well, people then can't see us. We're basically calling these the industrial, the -1 to hits, and then these are all ruins right there. And then over on Connor's side, so he's put all of his dudes up in here, the snipers up top, and there's a Vanguard?
Oh, those are Storm Rangers.
Storm Rangers. Okay. He's got his one of his transports right here, the other transport right there. Bunch of shooty things in the middle there with Cawl. The Flier obviously in the back. And his Serebus Raiders are taken up to come around the backside of that little building there. And then Deep Strike, he's got his little winged dudes. And I've got my Rippers and my Lictors all coming in when I need them. So that being said, it's the one, the only, the roll-off, sir. You ready for this? Well, he already rolled. Yep. He got a 3. I got a 6. I think I'm going to try to take first. Okay. So we get the handshake.
Yep.
We got hand sanitizer somewhere, and I'll bring it back to you guys after turn 1 for the Tyranids.
Ooh, do I? I don't know.
All right, so end of Tyranids turn 1. I've advanced up these gaunts right here like a dummy. So one thing I realized afterwards, I went back and read Deploy Scramblers. I shouldn't have moved these guys up. I should have left them. Is what it is. Left these guys standing still. The Exocrine's moving around the back here a little bit, just kind of trying to figure out what he can do with his 36-inch gun. Is that only 36? It might be 48. Maybe I'm wrong. In which case, I shouldn't have moved him. I should have shot at the Serebus Raiders in the back. But advanced up all the Zoanthropes. They just kind of navigated up here along with their 2 HQs. The Warriors just moved up here with their Tyranid Warrior buddy. And the Hive Tyrants right there. So I have the Exploding 6s on them. He's got Catalyst on him. Now for the turn, all my smites ended up wiping out these guys because they were closer to me than the transport over there. My shooting killed the transport, and then we killed all the Electropriests between the Warriors and what was left from those guys for the second shot. And I think I killed like 2 Raiders in the back with the heavy Venom Cannon. And that was it. So for my turn, I literally only scored 3 points for direct assault because I failed to look at the mission. So we'll move on to Connor's turn 1 and see how much stuff I lose to all the shooting. Alrighty, so we're back at the end of Admech's turn 1. So it was pretty brutal. The robots right there killed almost all the Zoanthropes. That one's at 1 wound. Remaining, that one's still full. And then he killed the rest back here. Beyond that, he's killed a few gaunts, and then he took my Exocrine down to 2 wounds with 2 really good last cannon shots there. And that was about it. And then he killed 1 Hive Guard in the back. But over here, I scored 10 points for my turn. He's got 3 for Abhor the Witch and 3 for Engage on all fronts. But let's move into Tyranids turn 2. Okay, so the end of my turn 2. So I killed the Flier, and I did not know Admech could auto-explode. So he auto-exploded, rolled 3 damage on almost everything. Ended up taking out a Hive Guard and the Exocrine, and almost killing my Neurothrope, and did some damage to the Hive Tyrant over there. Beyond that, Deep struck in some Rippers over there. I've actually advanced and charged all the Warriors thanks to Onslaught, and then also the Lictor came in to help out. We ended up not killing any of the Breachers because that is heavy cover. So, which, yeah, I think it's only for this turn that they get it, but it doesn't matter because I'm probably going to lose a bunch of guys this coming turn. These guys moved up, deployed Scramblers, and then, yeah, that's about it. So for the actual turn, he scores 10 points because he holds 2 right now. I got 3 for holding the middle objective and 3 for engage on all fronts. So we'll move on to Admech's turn 2.
Yeah.
All right, so the end of Admech's turn 2. So you guys can see there's quite a bit of stuff dead. So basically, he hosed down the Warriors. Only 1 is left. He did try a long bomb charge with Cawl because he had to actually go around here to try to get within an inch of him, and failed it just barely. So I have 1 Warrior left alive over there. These guys came down, killed half of the Gaunts over there. And he basically killed everything in the middle except for the Tyranid Prime, who's hanging out right there. So, on his turn, though, he ended up getting 3 points for Abhor the Witch. On my turn, though, so I hold 3 objectives to his 2. So, I actually get 15 points for the primary. Boop. And we're going to move on to Tyranids turn 3. Alright, all that scraping is Connor moving his models. So my turn was super simple. I moved the Hive Tyrant further this way to basically get a bead on the Flechette guys in the back. Deep struck the Lictor there, 3 Rippers there, 3 Rippers over there. That guy placed the deployed Scramblers, and then this guy just kind of moved off to the side. Beyond that, we basically just shot those dudes to death, shot the guys on this objective to death, And that was it for the turn. So on my turn, I scored another 3 for direct assault, another 3 for engage on all fronts. And then on Connor's turn, so we forgot to talk about it, but he got 2 for engage on all fronts. And then he'll get 5 points because he holds that one over there. But yeah, we'll see what the Admech do on turn 3. So the end of Admech's turn 3. So he's wiped out the Ripper Swarms over there. He shot over here to wipe out the rest of the Gaunts over there. Only one of the big robots shot here did 11 wounds, and he survived with 1 wound thanks to Feel No Pain. And I've got 2 Rippers hiding out over here. So he didn't get any Abhor. We're not counting his kills yet until the end of the game. He's got a bunch. And he can't get engaged on all fronts. So on my turn, I basically just get 10 because I hold 2 to his 2. So we're going to move on to my turn 4. All right, Tyranid's turn 4 was super easy. I advanced the Malanthrope. He was able to get on that objective. The Tyranid Prime advanced into this table quarter, is basically getting me engaged on all fronts for this turn. The Lictor walked around the backside of that building. Hive Tyrant moved back here, killed a single Hoplite. And that's it. Actually, the Hive Guard are going to stay still because they got me my Scramblers because I forgot that they're infantry, so they were able to score. I forgot to get my CP for the turn. So I was able to score a buttload of points. I got 16 points that turn, plus the 10 at the beginning of Connor's turn. He's going to go ahead and get 10 points. So with turn 5 and his turn 4 is going to be super quick because it's basically him picking up the last few units he can see and just moving this way. We'll come back and do a summary at the end of the game. All right, so the end of the game. So it basically became a game of cat and mouse. Me just basically maintaining, just shot here. He did move his Magos up here to actually hold that objective on turn 4. That guy. And I was able to I double shot the Hive Guard, killed him in the first volley, and then I tried to kill them and just did like 1 damage. And that was it. So at the end, so he ended up killing 70 total models, getting 7 points for thin their ranks. And engage on all fronts, he only got it 2 turns, so the first and second turn, so he got 5 points there. Aboard the Witch, he got 6 points because I hid the last 2 Psychers away from him for the last few turns. And he was able to get 10 on his last turn because the main reason was, had this guy lived, he would have actually held more because I had a Lictor over there. The Lictor ran through to have 2 objectives. So my goal was to basically, I need to kill that, and then that way it's 2-2, denying him 5 points. On my side, I was able to get the 10 for the Scramblers, 12 for holding the middle, which I couldn't get the last turn because he was there, and 9 for engage on all fronts, and 45 for the primary. So the end of the game was 76-53. Now we did talk it out because we had talked about secondaries, and I'll let Connor get his thoughts in here in a second. Had he taken grind them down, he would have definitely gotten that every turn. He would have ended up getting the full 15, which would have swung the points 8 points there. And had I lost that last warrior over here when he did that huge volley to wipe them out, that would have been another 10-point swing. So it actually would have been a 5-point game at that point. It would have been 66-61 in that case, because other than that, everything else would have basically been the same at that point. But it was great. Those guys freaking hurt. They're so painful. But anyways, Connor, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, taking out the mobility, like always, going second is painful in 40k, even in 9th edition. Taking out my mobility first, taking out some of my close combat units really hurt. They could have screened up. Making the choice to put the robots and shoot twice and not move early on in the game did a lot of work for me. I cleared off most of the table, but I definitely suffered on the mobility, keeping my castle in the back corner. No one can touch the back corner, but in 9th, the mobility is so key, and once my Flier 2 transports went down and my Riders, it's definitely hard to make up the maneuver aspect of the game. But, I mean, Mars is absolutely brutal in shooting. Like, if he poked around the buildings, like, it was gone. So, good news. Like, you have to be smarter in this edition, but there's nothing like a ton of firepower.
Yeah.
To change about rep.
No, I mean, if this was like ITC, I think I would have got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. New rules in 9th, picking secondaries, definitely a key.
Yeah.
And then, if I have the plan to like move out my transports and do all that stuff, they don't show up. It's like, ooh, that makes engaging on all fronts harder in the deep game because then my deep strikers that are supposed to pick up that slack can't. They have to pick up the initial push. So
yeah,
it happens.
100%. No, it was a great game. It definitely made me think a lot, and that is the most Tyranids that have died in any battle report so far. I have 6 left. So that being said, thank you so much, Connor. Good game.
Wow.
I killed his terrain.
Yep.
And I'll see you guys on the next battle report here at Heretic Wargaming. Okay, so that battle report was a doozy, right? Even though I won by Virtual's landslide due to points, that's why me and Connor really broke it down as to like how the points could have ended up, because just a few minor tweaks in that game and things could have definitely gone left or right, right? That is definitely the first game of 9th where I have completely felt helpless. Like, I was doing it and I was like, wow, man, like, I am just losing so much stuff. Like, there on turn 3, I was not sure if I was going to be able to pull it out, even though I was ahead on primary and my secondaries weren't looking bad. But, like, you know, with the Warriors, I wasn't... So, when I picked deploy scramblers, I thought I could do that with the Lictors, and I cannot do that with Lictors. So yeah, which was really bad. Because then I only had the Gaunts and the Warriors that could actually do well, and then the Hive Guard, which ended up coming into play at the end. But that were the only units that could actually deploy scramblers, because everything else was an infantry character in that list. Actually, the Lictors aren't characters. Crap! I could have done it. Oh wow. Well then. I knew there was a reason I built it the way that I did. Oh well, live and learn, right? So, but anyways, no, it was a great game against Connor. You know, just the Warriors getting in there in that pivotal turn, and a few things swung his way. For example, you know, when I swung into the Cataphrons, I strung out. That way, I was within 6 of the Prime. That way, I hit on 2s. And I had done a bunch of wounds, but because of the dense or the heavy cover where I charged into at the little pipes, he had a 3-up save and made all of his saves. And one Cataphron actually had 1 wound left. And the whole idea behind that was, and I had explained to Connor afterwards, was because I didn't pile in. Well, I did pile in a little bit around the sides. But the whole idea was that I wanted to kill that one Cataphron and then actually consolidate through the gap. And what that would have done is it would have allowed me to A, tag the objective, and then B, kind of wrap around those Cataphrons more. And then he wouldn't have actually been able to have anywhere to fall back without using a bunch of CP to actually get out of there. So, which was the whole idea behind there, but his dice were 100% with him there. And just his damage output was insane. Like, it's been a while since I've played Admech, and I've heard of what they can do, but seeing it firsthand is totally different from actually reading better, right? Just like anything. So now I'm more prepared for the amount of damage those damn Cataphrons can do now. But no, this Tyranid list, though, I'm absolutely having a blast with it. I think that it's a lot of fun. I think it's definitely got some teeth. Had I not gone first, I think this game would have went a lot worse for me, because I did not understand just how much damage those Cataphrons were going to do. I should have deployed a lot more conservatively, backlined a little bit more, you know, around that building, basically not giving him a beat on anything, and then probably allowing him to go first, which would have, he would have actually probably pushed out some more, which would have actually given me a lot of targets to shoot at, and then him not really having a lot of targets to shoot at. So, live and learn, though, right? And I also did not know that, Admech can actually auto-explode vehicles just like Death Guard. That completely took me off guard, having me lose that Exocrine for... Literally, he did nothing besides put a couple wounds on that Flier. And a lot of that was my fault, because I was like thinking, like, well, what can I do with this guy? And I really probably should have, going back and looking at it, I should have deployed him towards the center behind that big scaffolding, right? Had I done that, if Connor had deployed more aggressively to kind of counter that, because the Cataphrons couldn't see it behind that thing. Well, not the Cataphrons, the Castellan robots. Keep saying Cataphrons. Ks and Ks, but he would have actually had to like move around that to actually have a chance of really doing significant damage to it other than with the Flier, right? And I could have castled up a little bit more, which would have given less options for the Flier to shoot at. And talking to him, I think he made the right choice because he basically killed the Exocrine. Because he was like, yeah, I could have killed like a couple Hive Guard maybe, and maybe that would have been a good choice. And I think overall that might have been a better choice because in the end, because the Hive Guard don't need line of sight, they were a big part of why I was able to pick up some of the units I was able to pick up, right? But man, y'all got to watch out because the damage output from Admech is outrageous right now, right? Absolutely outrageous. Looking at it like if I were playing a Chaos style list, it would be because he almost had like an unassailable castle there on his end of the table. So I would have definitely had to have played a lot more tricky and a lot more cagey. And so like my Death Guard list would have paired pretty well into that, like a couple of my Death Guard lists. If you have a Terex pattern assault drill with all the dudes, the grenade dudes, because he wasn't really zoning out, and if he would have zoned me out, then it would have given me more of the table. But yeah, I don't know, it was really interesting, and definitely look out for it. Connor's a great opponent. He definitely made me work for it, and it was a lot of fun. But like he spoke about, it is very critical that you pick your secondaries right. It's weird. I'm almost positive that I'm picking the right secondaries every game with the Tyranids. I don't really feel bad about the ones I'm like, oh yeah, I feel good about taking this. But yeah, the Lictors, man, those Lictors, they are great at securing secondaries. Like and for 37 points, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm really enjoying those. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle report. Not going to ramble too much more. I think the battle report speaks for itself. But if you guys like this, please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys on the next battle report here at Heretic Wargaming.